welcome back to the High Speed Garage for another episode. Thanks to Contrast Printing for keeping the garage open. How we going, boys?
Not too bad.
Been busy this week?
Flat out. Had a bit on, getting dirty, getting under machines and trucks and stuff.
How are you, Joel?
Flat out.
Lifting
Big days.
Lifting heavy things?
Picking shit up, putting it down.
Nothing special happened in your weeks?
No.
Not too much?
No, this week's been a little bit quiet. Still waiting on stuff in Newbie. He said to me today that should be ready to be picked up tomorrow afternoon, which is pretty exciting. All the bolt-on stuff for the engine, so we can start finishing stuff off, which is, I reckon it's pretty cool, pretty exciting.
It does sound exciting. I got a little bit excited over the weekend. I didn't do much at work last week. It was just sort of a bit mundane, but you get those weeks. But on Saturday, I took my boat out for a little test run just to see how it'd go. For the first time in a long time.
All I saw from that was the boat pulled 158 mile an hour or something like that.
54.7.
154.7.
Well,
it's either bullshit or it was a really good test day.
It was a good test day. It went all right. There may be a little bit of mayo on that fucking speed, but
You got to do it to get the likes.
Yeah.
Bit of clickbait.
No, we didn't try too much. I was just a couple of little squirts just to make sure the engine was still happy. I didn't even really turn a full lap at speed. It was just sort of a couple of little short straights, checking the oil, make sure the oil tank wasn't running out of oil, and just making sure the engine was happy basically before we can give it a full run. I did try a second propeller, which I kind of knew wasn't going to work because our gear ratio wasn't right for that propeller, but I give it a little squirt anyway, and it was better than I was sort of expecting. So there's a bit of merit to using that thing. So we'll try that next time. I'll have to get the gearbox out and change the ratio, and then try and give that propeller another run and see if I'm in the ballpark with me train of thought. And if that doesn't work, we'll just go back to what we sort of already know.
Is that a real hard gearbox to get out of that boat?
Nah, it's pretty easy. I got a mate of mine, Max Andrews, to make the spline longer on the drive shaft. So basically, all I got to do is undo the split coupling on the drive shaft, slide the coupling all the way back onto the drive shaft, and I just lift the gearbox straight up and out. It's pretty easy.
That's a mad idea. I think I might see if I can do that on
mine
as well.
Yeah, it is pretty nice. Other than that, because I've got the engine a fair way back in that boat. A lot of people run them, a fair bit further forward than where mine is. But because my boat's kind of heavy, I'm trying to get as much weight at the back as possible to get it to stand up. And I can't actually drop the engine straight in. I can't. I have to drop it straight in. I can't drop it in and then slide it forward like most people do because I don't have the room. So yeah, I had to make the drive shaft like that to be able to drop the engine in. So I can lift the engine straight up.
And that just holds in with a split coupling.
Yeah.
Like you'd normally, like a stop collar on a prop shaft.
Yep. Exactly the same. So yeah, we'll do that. Give it another test run. Maybe on my own. I don't like testing too much on my own in case something goes wrong. But
yeah, I've never been a fan of that either.
Yeah, I don't mind giving it just a little squirt just to make sure everything's happy. Like I never let it go to get it right up to top speed or anything, but got it fast enough, and I didn't try any cornering issues because the boat does have a bit of cornering problems last time I drove it, so I need to take it to a club day where there's actually rescue crews and things like that in case I tip it on its lid mid corner.
Yeah, I've always been nervous when we used to take Gen 3 down for the river. As long as you had a boat like a second, like a rescue boat in the water, it didn't really faze me. But having the sailboat, I always want to always get Mick the diver to come down and jump in the water. So
it's a much better idea. It'd be nicer if we didn't have to register our boat, so it made us go to club days. That would be really cool. Be cheaper as well.
Rego the boats. What?
It's not that expensive, but it's just
it stops you putting yourself on the water.
It would be a deterrent for people. Like I wouldn't pay rego on the thing, which just means I wouldn't be able to test in the river on my own. Yeah. Which I don't really like to anyway. So.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of doing it. Even when I've got a diver in the water, I don't like thrashing it. Just as long as you sort of get it where you know what it's going to do.
Yeah, there's not a chance I'd try and turn a corner slightly hard.
Mm.
I'd just, go straight, back off, let the thing slow right down, big circle, turn around, line yourself back up, give it another little squirt, going back the other way. So I'll go to some club days and muck around with the cornering on it, which is going to be a little bit painful as well because I run zoomies on the thing, not exhaust pipes, and the engine doesn't like it when the exhaust pipes are on there. So the two localist places that run club days, Upper Hawkesbury and Raymond Terrace, you can't use zoomy exhaust pipes there, so it makes it a little difficult. I've either got to knock some boost out and just run the pipes and practice the cornering, or leave the zoomies on and have to go a bit further away, like Taree or something like that, to see how it goes.
Yeah, Taree doesn't run as many club days as they used to, do they?
No, they don't. They don't. And it's a fair bit of a drive for you.
Yeah, it's 4 hours.
Yeah. And, you're doing that on a Sunday where you got to come back and then go to work Monday, and, yeah, it's a little bit painful, but we'll see. Hopefully, if everything goes well, we might try and take it to Yarrawonga for the first round of the National Drivers' Championship. I'm not totally sold on doing that yet because I've only just put the thing back on the water, but if everything works out between now and then, we might take it and see how we go compared to everyone else.
Yeah, it's a big boat. It's going to handle the water at Yarrawonga a lot more than a little boat, so at least you'll be able to cruise around.
I think my big boat would love Yarrawonga.
I reckon my one would too, but I've got to get my thing to finish race meetings before I can go and push a thing at major events.
Yeah, mine's pretty stable on the water, like in rough water. Like even on the weekend when we were testing it, there was every time we put the boat in, it seemed like all the ski boats would come around. There was never any, and then you go to back the boat in the water, and then all of a sudden there's 10 fucking ski boats around. But yeah, their wakes and stuff, it seemed to just cruise over them pretty easily, like on the wood and everything. It didn't upset the boat at all, so that's a positive. But yeah, anyway, that was me Saturday, and then Sunday I didn't do too much. I watched, after we finished testing the boat, we watched the qualifying for the Formula Ones.
Yeah, that was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then I watched it Sunday. You didn't watch it, did you, Joe?
No, I took Ava come down.
Oh yeah,
Ava come down. We went down and took Miller to Yarramundi.
Oh yeah,
Just play around in the water. Fucking hot day, so
yeah. It's a nice little spot there at Yarramundi, isn't it?
yeah, nice and shallow. Sit under the trees and
Yeah, I've taken the kids there a couple of times. It's pretty cool. Teaching them how to skip rocks in the water.
Yeah, good skipping rocks down there.
Yeah.
They've done a bit of rolling down the hill.
Have you been there since the floods and that?
I've only been over the Yarramundi Bridge.
Yeah, I went over the bridge obviously before the floods, and there was like it was a bit of sort of
Bushland.
I wouldn't say dense bush, but yeah, it was bushland. But you go there now, all the trees are like gone.
it's just sand the whole way across.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they're
completely
all
wiped out all the
snapped and
trees.
flattened off, and yeah, there's no trees at all there now.
Yeah, it was a pretty bad flood going through there last one and two, I think it was.
Yeah,
The last one was a big one.
Yeah.
That was here at the end of the street.
Could
The
you
last
get in?
flood.
Yeah.
Could you get into?
Yeah,
your
you
property?
just go around the
From the
backside.
topside,
Yeah, I put my kayak in at the end of the street and paddled to the Leagues Club.
I'd do that just for fun.
he rang me and goes, "Oh, do you want to come to Lee's Club for a beer?" I said, "It's fucking shut. The car park's full of water. The footy field's full of water. How do I get in there?" He goes, "No, there's a back door. You can go in from the back road and come through a gate up the top." I went, "Oh, right. I'll see you in 10 minutes." And I cruised down there and I said, how'd you get here? He goes, "I
Kayak?
just fucking put my kayak in the water and just rode here." I was like, "You idiot." And the club actually took a drone out the front and put it in the sky and took a photo of the floodwater, and here's Joel's kayak parked in the car park.
I put it right in a proper car park and everything.
Dragged it out of the water, put it between the lines. They come and asked whose kayak it was. It was
There was only about 5 of us in the pub at that time. Who's got a kayak? That's me.
Yep.
I couldn't believe how packed the pub ended up getting like that afternoon, considering everything around here was flooded. I guess people had nothing else to do. They probably couldn't
Yeah,
get
that's
to
right.
work or whatnot, so they just went, "Fuck it, just go to the pub."
Yeah.
Just sat at the pub for
Couple of delicious scooter burgers.
4 or 5
Yeah.
hours.
So yeah, you watched the F1, didn't you, Hayden?
Yeah, so
Might as well give us a little spiel on what happened and what you saw.
on the Thursday, Friday, the supercars were running. They got a race a day. It was all right. The supercars sort of got sort of pushed in the background a bit more. It wasn't that great. It was a Red Bull 1-3 on Thursday, and then Cameron Hill got second, which is he's not a rookie. He's been in the main game for about 2 years now, in the double car, and then so he got a second on the Thursday, and on the Friday that was his first podium. On the Friday he got his first win. So
Yeah, nice.
Held off Brock Feeney for the win, and then I can't remember
The weather was
results
pretty
on
good on
Saturday.
the Thursday, wasn't it?
They canned the
They came
Sunday.
to the Sunday race because it bloody rained out.
Yeah, I guess that's what happens when you're sort of the lowest class of the weekend. Normally they're probably used to being the top class, but when you go to Albert Park, you've got to play second fiddle to the Formula One cars. We also had our very own Chelsea Hamilton down there on the grid, holding the F1 flag during the national anthem, which is pretty cool. Would have been really cool if she had a nice high speed garage T-shirt on, but we couldn't get her one in time after we found out all that was happening. But anyway, next year.
Yeah, we've got to try and get some stuff. I think Brad's got some stickers made up, but we haven't got the QR code on them yet.
Yeah.
So we've got to design them so we can slap some dunny doors with the
Get it out there.
QR codes. And so Will Brown, Brock Feeney, Nick Percat was on the podium on Saturday. So the supercars, it was a bit of a it's reasonable watching, but it was a bit of a non-event with supercars at Melbourne because they just get squashed in the back corner.
Yeah.
Yes, it's standard support category.
Yeah. So then the results for the qualifying on the Saturday afternoon, Lando Norris got pole, but I think it was about 2 or 3 seconds earlier, Piastri was on pole by a fair whack. Norris come and got him by bugger all.
Yeah, I think it was like 0.08 or something like that. It wasn't quite a tenth, I don't think.
1 minute 15.096 compared to Piastri's 1 minute 15.180. So that's pretty bloody close.
Yeah.
If you ask me. Then Verstappen, Russell, Yuki Tsunoda, Alex Albon, Charles Leclerc, Hamilton, Gasly, Sainz, Hatter, Alonso, Stroll, and then you go down further. Now
That was all in the dry.
that was all on the dry on the Saturday. One big point was Carlos Sainz. We were talking how he went from Ferrari across to Williams. Well, the Williams were both in the top 10 in the qualifying,
Yeah.
and then unfortunately in the race, Carlos Sainz binned it on the formation lap.
Yeah.
It was either formation lap or lap 1. I think it was lap 1. He came around the last corner and it just spun mid gear shift.
I think he was the third one to go. So it was one of the rookies. I think it was the Haas car.
Oh man, I should have these results up.
He bended on the formation lap, and I think then lap 1, Jack Doohan smashed his out, and then I think it was like another lap or 2 later. That's when Sainz did the same thing.
Yeah, Isaac
I thought
Hadjar
Sainz
stacked
was
Hadjar,
first.
that's him.
Isaac Hadjar stacked first, then Doohan stacked, then Carlos Sainz, then Alonso stacked. Then
Yeah, that was getting towards the end.
who's BOR? Where's Chelsea when you need her? Then Liam Lawson stacked it as well. That was pretty disappointing to see Lawson stack it.
I think out of the 6
first
rookies
race.
that started, there was only 2 that finished.
Yeah, but one of them was Kimi Antonelli,
Yeah.
which was Hamilton's replacement.
How good did he go?
Mate, top 4, first race.
Yeah.
I reckon it's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, that was bloody awesome. on the TV they had like a little thing where everyone could vote for their driver of the day.
Yeah.
And I think Lando Norris ended up winning that. But man, I would have voted for Antonelli straight up. That's pretty impressive to do that on your debut.
I'm pretty sure he spun it out mid-race as well.
I think something like that. Yeah, maybe. I can't quite remember.
So the bloke who won was obviously Lando Norris. Piastri he come ninth, but he was fighting for first, like he was fighting against his teammate, and they come into I can't remember what corner number it was. Come into the corner, they both went in too hard. Norris put it on the grass a little bit, and then Piastri got dragged onto the grass a fair bit more.
That was right when the rain started.
Everyone thought he was out.
Yeah.
Then he backed it up, got it onto the runoff road, and then
used his tractor skills.
Sent it. Yeah,
I seen that meme.
Yeah, Jeremy Clarkson put a meme up. Yeah, that was a pretty good meme this week.
And how good was his pass? Like with
on Hamilton?
2 laps to go. Yeah.
Yep.
That was beautiful. That.
Yeah, that was. I don't usually enjoy an F1 race as much as I enjoyed that one. There was a fair bit going on.
Yeah, all the weather and stuff was all. Yeah. Makes it a bit more entertaining, I guess.
Yeah,
it's kind of. I assume it's annoying for all the teams and the drivers and whatnot.
Oh, it'd be crap.
Imagine driving like an F1 in the rain.
Imagine like just driving an F1 on its own, let alone the rain. I reckon it'd be.
Yeah, but I just mean like
work.
You're sitting in an open cockpit. It's raining. You're getting wet. You're not inside a nice dry car or anything. It'd be painful. Some of the radio communications are pretty funny too.
Hamilton blowing up at his new engineer.
Yeah.
Yeah, was
they were both doing it. Both Ferrari blokes were doing.
So was that the one
stuff
saying "Leave me alone, let me go" or something?
Yeah, just let me go.
Yeah, his teammate said the same thing a couple of times as well.
Yeah, look, that was at one point Hamilton was in the lead. Like I know it was sort of out of sync, but it was trying like they were trying to keep him out there just to wait for the rain to pass, and then he was on slicks ready to go. But
that would have worked out well for him. But
the amount of times they pit for bloody slicks, then wets, slicks, wets.
Yeah,
it would have been hard work as a strategist.
Yeah, especially with the weather going. Yeah, on, off. Don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah. There was a bike race of MotoGP over the weekend as well.
There was, but I haven't watched it yet. I do know who won. Marquez won the sprint race. I'm not sure if he won the main race though. Like I said, I haven't watched it yet, so I don't want to find out too much information.
Don't search up the results
because I haven't watched it yet. But oh, you can if you want. It doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, I'd prefer to watch it and give you a proper rundown of what actually happened and how it all went. But yeah, it looks like Marquez is definitely going to be the guy to beat this year. I think on Thursday or Friday in practice, he knocked off his own lap record, so of the Argentina circuit. So he's definitely pretty fast on the Ducati.
Was he leagues ahead again, or?
Don't know. Like I said, I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
But I meant to watch it this afternoon, but I got home a bit late from work and whatnot. And I should have got up early in the morning and watched it because the timing for Argentina worked out that the GP race was going to start at like sort of 5 in the morning, and which means it'd be done by 6, and then I could just sort of head off to work. But yeah, I had a bit much going on the weekend, and I was a bit tired, so I ended up sleeping in and getting up a bit later and just getting up and going to work. So anyway, what other motorsports we go to? We had the Australian Powerboat Association had some championships, didn't they, Joe?
Yeah, we probably should shed some light on the Formula Futures. Seems they're the future of our sport. Yeah, they run the New South Wales state titles at St George.
They're pretty cool, the juniors, eh? I don't mind getting into watching them. They're a bit slow for some people like to watch, but it's pretty entertaining when they're all together. And when you get a good field of them, some of the corners, man, there's boats here, there, and everywhere. They got to be pretty switched on not to, run into each other and all that stuff. And they're pretty young too. Like these guys start racing at like 8 years old.
8 till 16.
Yeah, so I think at 8 years old you can have a six horsepower outboard.
Yeah.
And then I think when you get to 12...
10 or 12, I think, for 9.9.
Yeah, and then I think it's... Yeah,
And then 14.
12 or 14 for a
It'd be 14,
15.
14 for the 15.
For the
'cause then,
15, yeah.
We should know that.
We should.
know that.
No,
Yeah, so there's
it's-
3 different classes. There's your J1, which is 6 horsepower, your J2, which is your 9.9 horsepower, and then there's your J3, which is your 15 horsepower. And obviously, as they step up in classes, they all go a little bit faster. And
bigger boats.
They're definitely a
Yeah.
lot faster than when we used to race
Oh,
our
absolutely.
30-year-old 15s.
Fishing
Would we have
oh,
Johnsons?
yeah, I had an old Johnson.
Johnson
It
15.
was a temperamental old thing.
Yep.
Used the Aero Start was out there and they're
Yep.
pulling the shit out of them. And
Yep.
now it's just they're doing their own thing. They're just starting themselves and
Yeah, the
gear
kid-
levers. And
The kid just reaches over and just goes pull and
Yeah,
just fires it up.
some have got battery starts.
Oh, yeah. I remember when I used to bloody jump into what we have, Bullseye. We had a little yellow and black boat called Bullseye, and that engine, man, you'd go out to run like the thing's already hot, and in the middle of the track, she just turns itself off, and you just think, why?
What sort of boat was that?
It was sort of like a wing boat, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Like, it was a fair few years ago.
Like a Tennessee or anything like that?
Yeah,
or-
I think so. Yeah.
My first go in a junior boat, I think I was like 9 or 10 years old, was it was a little tunnel boat. It was called Kids Sea Breeze. Dad borrowed it off Henry Yachts for a couple of weeks and brung it up home and put it in the river and told me to go fang it round. And yeah, I thought, oh, this is pretty cool. Let's go get one. And then I was lucky enough that a friend of mine, Bruce Lyle, had one sitting in his shed, and he sort of give it to Dad and said, here you go.
Have some fun.
Let your young bloke drive that. So we get a little bit of a paint job, as I do with all me boats. I was
What colour did you paint it?
purple and green.
Good
I was
colour.
right into me Charlotte Hornets when I was a kid, so I pretty much copied that, and I called it Hornet. So
That's
yeah.
a good name.
yeah, and then once I finished with that, my junior career was over. I got into the big boats and give it back to Bruce, and then his daughter raced it for a couple of years as well. I don't know what it's doing now. It's
I think
probably, probably still sitting
after
around
she
there.
finished, I think someone else ended up with it for a little while.
Yeah,
But I can't remember.
They renamed it and that.
Kept the paint job.
Yeah, I think it's last I seen it, the
Yeah,
paint was still the
I
same.
think so. Yeah. Anyway, that was
It's
a bit
still
of fun.
running around, is it?
I haven't seen it for a while, but I'm sure Bruce would know where it is or have it somewhere. Yeah. So yeah, on the weekend they ran the
Yeah, they ran the New South Wales titles, and the Raymond Terrace kids blitzed the whole lot.
yeah.
So we had J1 winner was Joel Gray, which is Johnny Gray from
Dusty?
his Dusty.
Joel Gray is my godson.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yep.
Very cool.
And then Dylan Wood, which is our mate Adam Wood's young
Adam's
bloke,
son.
he got J2, and then Thomas D in the J3s.
Raymond Terrace
Oh,
whitewash.
Raymond Terrace 1, 2, and 3. So that's a pretty good result for them because
Yeah, good thing for him.
they're right into the. Well, that's where we started racing at Raymond
Yeah.
Terrace, and they pushed the juniors pretty good with
Yeah,
all
they
their
got it.
series as well, and their
Yeah.
Blue Water Oysters.
Yeah, that Blue Water Oyster series for the Formula Futures is also sponsored by Bruce Law, and I was lucky enough I won that. I think
I think it was three in a row. Yeah,
3 times when I was.
they
when I was a
posted.
kid.
I can give you that stat too, actually. Yeah, your stats are. There's only 2 drivers to take it out in Series 3 in a row. So it was Michael Newton in Hornet for 2000, 2001 and 2002. And then Danielle Shearman in Adrenaline Rush for 2004, 2005 and 2006.
So it was Terrace on top for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, see, back when we were running, you sort of had a few juniors come up, but not a hell of a lot.
These days they travel
There's
everywhere.
heaps of juniors travelling these days, so it's pretty well sought after.
The junior thing's been around a long time, eh? Some of the best guys in our sport started racing juniors.
Yeah,
Your Craig Baileys, your Troy Marlins, Darren Mayfields, Clayton Harts. all them guys started in
Yeah, pretty much a
Tiny
lot
little
of the
lads.
well-named guys are junior races.
that obviously shows that the junior system works well because
Yeah,
the ones that start in juniors are obviously at the peak of all their classes in
that's
the
right.
sport.
Yeah.
The St George are
Yeah.
also running the Australian Championships later.
Yeah,
in the
which
year.
is June
I think it's like the 27th or something like that.
20.
It's towards the end of June.
So all the
21st, 22nd, I think.
all the titles races, they're all under handicap conditions.
Yep.
Yeah. So a lot of the junior races are handicap run.
They went
much
away
all-
from it a little bit.
All of it should be.
It's
And I reckon a lot
handicap
of-
racing is good. It teaches them how to drive consistently, not necessarily just as fast as you can go and make mistakes. You got to be consistent the same each lap.
Yeah,
I think it's a good thing.
I've always liked the idea of the handicaps. Like they Upper Hawkesbury started to do them again for the seniors, but it's gone away for the seniors a fair bit.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah,
like-
when in the big boats at the terrace, it was two handicaps, a scratch race, two handicaps, a scratch race, two handicaps, and a scratch race, and that's your day done.
Mhm.
So you knew what was coming up.
And with the handicaps, you can run a fair few different boats in there too. 'cause you
Everyone
just
can
style
all
them,
get
Everyone
in
was
together.
in, yeah.
except for the blown boats.
No, they
No,
can go in
everyone
handicaps
was in
too
it if
they
you wanted to.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know you were allowed to.
Yeah.
You're allowed to with the handicap, are you?
Yep.
Yeah, righto.
Yeah, I remember when Dad was driving Possessed, he'd come to a club day every now and then.
No, I'm
just to-
saying of late because you
Oh.
can't race a blown boat against an open deck boat anymore. But is it okay in a handicap race?
I can't see why it couldn't be. It's not necessarily a class, so it could be whatever you want.
Interesting. Maybe we've got to look at the rule book on that, see what
Could-
the
Could be hydroplanes,
Nice.
could be outboard monos, tunnel boats. All that could all be in together.
Yeah, I always remember the handicaps. The water used to turn into a big washing machine.
Yeah,
The whole river.
That's how you learn to drive
Yeah,
through
you learn
shit.
how to drive
Yeah.
through shit water.
yeah. If you had a fast boat, you started sort of at the back, so you learnt to drive in. Yeah, all the wash of every other boat, which is what my old man used to do back when he was driving. Every now and then he'd go to a club day and do a half dozen handicap races,
Mhm.
and start at the back and just try to round everybody up.
Mm.
Just makes you a bit better driver, I think.
Yeah.
Gives you more experience.
Yeah,
not just
there's
you know.
big benefits
There's
in
some
doing
some people could just buy, if they've got plenty of coin, they just go and buy the fastest boat, put it in the water, and they sit at the front. They win a few races, but then as soon as someone sort of catches them and beats them, they fall back through the field because
Yeah.
they don't know how to drive in the
that. Yeah.
rougher conditions. All right, that sounds like it's the motorsport segment done with. What's next?
Listen to questions.
Listen to questions. How many we get this week?
I've got one.
One. We need to get some more, eh?
Yeah.
Start pumping them up.
Send for your listener questions, guys. Even if you don't want to ask a question, even if you want to just tell us a story or
Tell us we're idiots.
yeah,
Tell us what you
just
don't like.
something. Send us a joke or something if you want. We'll have a laugh. Don't have to all be serious. Yeah, just do the old voice recording thing. It's just better than text because we can play it.
Exactly right. And you can put your joke in there too.
Yeah, and we can all laugh together.
So what we got? We've got Peter Williams. He's asked, "Hi, just a question for next week's podcast. Why do Sydney-based boat racing teams not support St George Powerboat Club like they do Upper Hawkesbury? Thanks for the podcast. Really enjoy it. Can't wait for a few more guests."
Well,
Just-
thanks, Peter, for such a loaded question.
Thanks, Pete.
There's a short answer. Not a lot of people like saltwater.
Yeah, that probably does come into some people's thoughts, I guess. It doesn't bother me too much. I don't mind. I grew up on saltwater and always tested there, and yeah, I've raced in saltwater plenty of times. Go to Adelaide and race there. If anyone races in Adelaide, that's like the worst place for salt you could possibly go to. So yeah, I don't really have a problem with saltwater, but I can understand some people do. But the main thing that I would say, well, my opinion on the St George Club, it's it's a great club, and it was good, and there used to be like heaps of good races there. But I think the club's probably not that into boat racing. They're more into their boats and the marina, because the marina's, like, since I was a kid, the marina's gotten bigger. The car park's kind of gotten less. It's got the overhead part over the top of it now, so you can't fit as many boats in as you used to be able to. It's a little hard to get in and out of the water. Those kind of things. It's probably not the most user-friendly track you could go to.
But
It does get rough pretty fast.
As a club, they do support
They're coming back.
events, though.
They do, yeah.
Yeah,
There's supposedly massive prize money there. And
there's always good prize money at St George, which kind of reinforces the reason that, a lot of people, they don't go there, but you can tell that that's not for money, because there's always plenty of money on offer at St George, and people still don't go. So money's not the problem.
For us, it's not it's mostly their major event. Like, I don't have a problem going there. I'd actually look forward to going and racing at St George, but since we've started racing, really good friends of ours, the Davies family up at Bundaberg, have supported us going up to Bundaberg every year. So that's why we go up, and it's a week after the St George major event. So that's the reason why I can't usually make it to their major. And then apart from that, we probably just haven't been ready when they're running their club days. I don't have a problem going down there. Salt water doesn't worry me at all. Just as long as you can wash it off, it doesn't matter. I don't have real flash anodized, polished stuff on our boat. Ours is a race boat, not a show boat. So we can go down there, no problem. It just
I'm pretty much the same. Last time I had my boat running, that's where we took it. I don't think.
Yeah, we took it there because if you went to that day, you were accepted first into their major thing that was happening in 2020, but then COVID killed that.
Yeah, that was their 100th year or something.
Yeah, they were going to run the Riverside over there as well. That would have been an awesome event.
I went there. That was when we still had the twin turbo engine in my boat, and then we pulled that out because the boat needed a bit of work after we ran it at St George, and then we ended up sticking the engine in Joe Junior, and then Andrew decided he wanted to buy it, so it stayed in Joe Junior. So then we built another engine for mine, and as I said earlier, we've only just got that going again now. So that's why I've been missing out. But there is it does have a bit of a reputation for being rough too, which that also doesn't bother me too much. But some people like to
river race.
They like to only run their boats in nice, smooth, calm water, which, each their own. Everyone does their own thing. You can't knock anyone for doing anything like that.
Benefit of St George, you don't really have, like when you go to Yarrawonga, it's really rough because you got the water bouncing off those concrete walls. Well, you don't have that. It's pretty open. The only sort of secondary issue at St George is when any of the boats come out from the marina.
Well, they never come out from the marina. It's the other side they're allowed to keep coming from.
Coming across, yeah.
So they're just cruising up the bay.
Yeah, when they go between the bridges at the end.
Yep.
They head, from one bridge to the other bridge, which sends waves down the track. And there's nothing you can do about that. You can't control any of that. But yeah, it would be nice if everyone got their fair share of the pie. But there's just a few reasons why, Upper Hawkesbury, it's pretty much like a purpose built thing for powerboat racing. It's not powerboat racing doesn't come second to that club, so that's probably a bit of a thing as well.
They are starting to get supported a fair bit this last year with the series, the Super Stock series or whatever they started.
The series they've started will help out a lot.
That's dragged, and plus there's a lot of mono races
over there,
down that way, so they supported it pretty hard these days.
Yeah, there's not a lot of local people in the St George area compared to sort of Upper Hawkesbury. Like Upper Hawkesbury is like pretty much a breeding ground for boat races, really. They're everywhere through here. But I understand his point because they don't St George gets supported less from Sydney teams than some interstate clubs do. So I can understand where the question's coming from. Maybe some other people that don't like going there, let us know Why you
reasons,
don't why you don't like going there? No, it's no malice or anything
Yeah, we're
like
not
that.
here. We're not here attacking them.
It's nice just to have information on why things happen, because if it isn't, the rough water or something like that, or the salt water, and it's something that can be fixed, the more people that know, the better chance we've got of fixing something up, so people do actually go to all these clubs.
The more you talk, the more people know what's going on.
Yeah. The main thing, like the reason that I sort of don't like St George is probably the pit sort of area, the actual club venue. The club's an awesome club, but yeah, just putting your boat in and out of that boat ramp. See, mine's really hard too. I've got a ridiculously long trailer, and you can't do too many sharp turns with it.
Not with 3 axles. We'll
And
take 2 for 4 wheels off it and we'll be right.
Yeah, and there's only sort of so many spots where you can park boats, and then you got to try and coordinate it all so they all get into the boat ramp nicely, and then you got to turn them around and drive them out the marina, and yeah.
You'd be better off setting up some hooks and crane the bloody thing in.
Even still, it gets craned in the middle of the marina. You still got to drive out of the marina, and yeah.
It's pretty cool seeing the big hydros getting craned in. It's all really close to the water's edge, so everyone can see these big boats right next to there and firing up. And
when I was a kid, the St George meetings used to be massive, and they were cool as because there was heaps of boats that could fit in the pit area. Since they sort of put that overhead car park over the lower car park, it's made it a little hard with all the posts and stuff in the ground to park boats. But I can remember boats being parked all along that back wall, all down the side, all through the middle.
All through the underground car park underneath.
Yeah.
I remember seeing
the whole thing was just loaded with boats, and then there was some around the front as well.
Yeah.
I can remember the Aussie Endeavour boat, the big hairdryer thing being parked out the front there.
That thing's huge.
Getting craned in as well. That was when I was a kid. Yeah. So anyway, hopefully that's answered your question, Peter. If it hasn't, let us know. Let us know what your opinion is. And yeah, we'll see if we can get some more answers. Also, thanks for your review too. It's nice to get reviews off people about the podcast and let us know that they like enjoying it.
Yeah.
We got no other questions?
No, I've got my own bloody rant though.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. No, I was supposed to bring it up a couple of weeks ago when we went to Eastern Creek for the Supercars. Remembering working in with the public, the most frustrating thing that I endured from that event was going to the public toilets and seeing the seat down on the toilet and people just walk in and pee all over the seat and couldn't be bothered lifting the seat. Anytime they need to sit down, you've got to do a good clean up on the seat. You got to clean everyone else's
that's disgusting.
up off the bloody seat. And I've got my 2 daughters there. I've taken them to the toilet. Every time you're freaking cleaning up someone else's piss all over the seat.
Yeah, that's
and then you're putting down toilet paper so they can sit on something clean. Man, if you go on the toilet and you can't handle standing next to someone at a urinal, and you got to go in and stand at the toilet, lift the seat up.
Be a fucking man and stand next to someone else.
That's the most frustrating thing I can deal with.
They've probably got tiny dicks that don't reach the toilet anyway.
Yeah, well, there was a fair bit on the front side of the seat, so that's probably right. Yeah,
they probably don't even know how to piss. It just dribbles out.
Yeah, it's not hard. Lift the seat.
Yeah, grubs.
Yeah, no,
that
grinds my gears.
That is shit, mate. So was they like Portaloo sort of things?
No, it was a proper permanent toilet seat.
That's disgusting.
Yep. Every time.
And
every time I'd lift the seat.
Those Portaloos can get a bit ranked sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Even if everyone is doing the right thing, they can get a bit ranked. But one thing I've noticed lately when we go places with those Portaloos, there's male ones and female ones, which I think is a fucking awesome idea.
Yeah, because the female ones are always heaps cleaner.
Yeah, because males are grubs, and at least the women get to enjoy something that's sort of half clean. I know they still stink and whatnot, but yeah, at least they respect each other enough to keep it clean for the next person.
You want to see him on a job site?
Oh, I could imagine.
Yep. And then they get cleaned up half as much as they need to be.
Yeah.
You walk past one and they just rink.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty frustrating.
All right, well, that'll do that. We've got another segment that we're going to start this week. It's just our favourite thing that we've seen on socials during the week. Could be something cool and inspiring, or something that's just a bit funny, or something that's a bit motivational, whatever we sort of feel like. And I can tell you what I seen first, and see if you enjoy it. He's ready.
Yep.
So I come across this post, and it's a conversation between a man and his wife, and the wife says, "Why do you always have to be the drunkest guy in the room?" The guy says, "Because I'm competitive." I thought that related to me, because I'm competitive and I always like having a drink when everyone else is.
Get a bit of FOMO.
So you got your one, Joel?
Yeah, I sent you my one.
Oh yeah, I'll get in. Oh yeah, I'll play that. Are you ready? Joel's one's a little real.
Hey boys, when you feel sad and lonely, remember one thing. You're broke and ugly too. Cheers.
That's not very motivational, is it? That just knocks you down a couple of pegs when you're already knocked down.
That's a good one.
Broken, lonely. And ugly. You don't have anything, Hayden?
No, I probably do, but probably shouldn't.
Are you too scared to
Very scared of these ones. No, stay away from that. No, I got nothing today.
Be a man.
No, I got nothing today.
Oh, you suck.
Yep.
You are such a suck.
Yep.
Hopefully everyone flogs Hayden on the socials.
Yep. Family man.
Alrighty. Is that it? We've covered everything we've got this week.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Wrap her up, eh?
Yeah.
Start to wrap her up. Please remember to share and rate the show. It helps, and we want to get more of our stuff out there. The more people that share it, the better it goes round, and we can get better quality stuff for everybody. And send through your listener questions. If you don't want to send a question, like I said before, if you want us to just send something that's funny, or you want to send us a meme or a reel that you think's funny, or you want to ring and tell us a joke, record that, send it through. It's all funny. We'll play all of it, unless something's a bit too far out there, and we'll play it live to us anyway. But if it's no good, we'll just edit it out.
Cut it out.
So yeah, send that through. We can all have a laugh together, and yeah, send your recordings through to the High Speed Garage Podcast at gmail.com. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening again. See you next week.
See you next week.
All right, catch you later.